Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Marie and today I thought I would show you what I made in the month of June this year. I think I counted that I had made 7 things, so I'm going to show you them, but I'm also going to do a little bit of a Friday Sews video today. It is Friday today, isn't it? I think so. I always get a little bit confused when I'm on vacation because I try to sort of really log off during my vacation. But I think it is Friday today. I was away for 1 week in June. I was at a conference in Riga in Latvia. So I didn't make as much in June as I probably would have in like a normal month. But yeah, I'm going to show you those, but I thought I would start with a little bit of catch up since I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, and do the kind of Friday Sews bit in the beginning, and then I'll move on to my makes after that. But I'll put in chapters, so if you're not interested in the Friday Sews things, you can just skip ahead by using the little chapters beneath the video. So, okay, let's dive in. I hope you excuse that I am drinking a little bit of tea while I keep talking, because makes videos tends to be a little bit on the longer side, and I'm kind of feeling it in my throat that I might be heading into a sort of summer cold. I'm doing what I can to fight it off, but if I'm drink a little bit of tea, it helps my voice. So I'll keep the slurping to a minimum. So please excuse me while I sip. Okay, that was really warm. So yeah. All right, so what have I been up to? So for those of you who checked last week's video, you saw that I was on vacation in Germany. And we had a bit of a different vacation this year. I won't bore you with the details or anything, but my husband met up with some of my family friends from the US, and they went off to a car museum and everything, doing their boy stuff. Not that girls can't be interested in cars. I am, but yeah. So they were doing the Porsche museum and everything in Stuttgart, and I took the girls, including my niece, to a place nearby, and we went to Europa Park, the Europe Park amusement park, and it was just wonderful. And we also had some adventures with travel and everything. So yeah, we had a lovely but long car drive up to Düsseldorf, where we were heading up, taking our flight back from Düsseldorf. And I found a very cute fabric store. So I asked the owner if I could take a little bit of footage in there, and he graciously said yes to that. So I did. I'm going to put in, if I haven't already, I'll put in some pictures from that little fabric store. And I did get 2 pieces of fabric from that store. So let's start with that. But yeah, I went into this fabric store, and it was quite a small store, but they had a great selection of fabrics, and they have lots of fabrics that I hadn't really seen anywhere else, which I always enjoy. And they were not cheap, and particularly for me, because the krona to euro rate is very poor at the moment. So but there was a sales table outside, and I picked up 2 fabrics from that, and they were very reasonably priced. So this first one is a viscose jersey. And I don't tend to use that much viscose jersey because, it tends to cling a little bit too much. but this was in such a lovely color. And these are really my colors. I mean, not the orange, but the blues and the greens really are in my color palette. And I think just the pops of orange in there makes this really special. And it's got a really nice quality feel to it. And it's lovely and like weighty. So, and this was €5 a meter, which I thought was a bargain really for this kind of cloth. So I got 2 meters of this. Not sure what I'm going to make with it, but either like a lovely top or maybe another Westcliff, Friday Pattern Company Westcliff dress. I've made a couple of versions of that, and I might make another one in this, but I'm not quite certain yet. So either that or maybe the Berda dress pattern that I love so much. Yeah, I'll leave, of course, everything in the description box below. So, you know, feel free to click that to see more. So yeah, that was one of my purchases from Düsseldorf. And then I purchased 1.5 meters of a cotton jersey in a very untraditional pattern for me. But I'm trying to sort of go out of my comfort zone a little bit. And this was it. This was also from the sales table. And as you can see, is this the right way up? Yeah. This is a directional print, and it has like leaves and tulips all over it. I was a little bit worried that it might look like either pajamas or a bit of a frumpy, you know, kind of vibe. But I think that with the right pattern, this could be really, really cute with either a plain skirt or like a pair of jean shorts or something. So this is going to be a top. And I'm thinking it might be the Somerset top by Maven Patterns. And I've made that many times before, but I think that I might make the one with the straight sleeve instead of the balloon sleeves, just because of the pattern being a little too much. So the simpler the pattern, the better, I'm kind of thinking, with such a busy print. But yeah, what do you think? I think I could get away with it. And yeah, I really wanted something like summery in that. So those were the 2 things that I managed to buy in Germany on my vacation. The other thing, and this is very exciting, the night before I left on my vacation, I had the loveliest Zoom call with a fellow vlogger. And I won't give you any like details on the collaboration right now, because that's coming in my next video. But I'm starting a collaboration with the lovely Rachel from the French Seams over in Ireland. And I adore her channel and her makes, and we have a bit of the same coloring. So we often like suit the same kind of fabrics and everything. And yeah, everything she makes is just, you know. So I've been following her for quite a while, and I absolutely adore her makes and everything. So I'm so excited to start this collaboration with her. So, but more news on that is coming. So watch this space, as they keep saying. Yay. Okay. Well, I've already been yammering on for quite a while. So let's get started on the June makes. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite makes of the month, and this is the Tessuti Esther shorts. If that sounds familiar, it's because I've been going on about this for a couple of videos now. So yeah, I think it was Adele from So For Serenity that mentioned the Esther shorts. And they also have a similar shorts pattern that I believe is elasticated in the waist that Rachel from Stitch Up have been raving about. So there were several, but I don't really like elasticated waist trousers or shorts. So I went for the Esthers. And the Esther shorts have like a firm waistband, so it's not elasticated. And it's a really simple pattern to make. I can like make this in no time. So it's they have a side zip, and there's a little I really like this detail actually. There's a little like tab where you put the button through. So yeah, they look really great and very simple to sew, and the shape is really great. I lengthened this version. This is a sandwiched linen from my local fabric store. Very creased at the moment because I literally just pulled it off my drying line. So yeah, these are really wrinkly. But these, I lengthened these by quite a decent amount because I don't like really short shorts. So I did lengthen these quite a bit. The thing about them though is that, of course, as they are linen, they crease like mad. That's just the linen look, so let's just embrace it. But they also grow quite a bit. And I wore these shorts for my second day in Europa Park, the amusement park. And I mean, by the time I got back out of the park after a day, they had grown so considerably that I kept like hoisting them up. And that's, not great. So I am thinking about maybe putting a little bit like unpicking a bit here and then pulling a little bit of elastic in the back, just to not to scrunch them up, but just to kind of help them keep them up on my waist. I am thinking about, for my next version, and there will be more, that I'm either going to put in the elastic as I'm going to try with this one, or I might try to put some like power mesh or something like that in the top. The thing is that when they come straight out of the dryer, and things they tend to go in the dryer here, they fit exactly. So I can't just size down too much anyway, because then I won't be able to zip them up when they're fresh out of the dryer. But I don't want to make them out of something like, I don't know, canvas, because then they won't be comfortable. So I need to sort of twiddle around a little bit with this and figure something out so that they don't grow too much. But, if you have suggestions, then please do leave me a comment, because I really want to make this work. But yeah, those are the Esther shorts from Tessuti. Absolutely love them. And this one has a little label in from Intensely Distracted saying ironing is overrated. I thought that was appropriate for linen. So the Esthers, and the only tweak I did was to lengthen it. Okay, so the second thing I want to show you is this one. I have worn this in a previous video, and this is a sort of recreating a top that I already owned. But in the end, I figured out that the top half of the Berda dress that I keep yammering on about because I love it so much was really quite similar. So the only thing I did was to alter the front panel of the dress, or the sort of the top, to make it overlap instead of like cutting it on the fold with a V-neck, which is the original Bada pattern. I did say that I could make a little video of how I did that, because I'm going to make another. This one is made in a sage green viscose linen. No, why do I keep saying that? Viscose jersey that I got from Self-Made. And it's really lovely and drapey, but it is just a little bit too slinky for that overlap. So in my next version, I'm either going to use a cotton jersey and then make the sort of same thing, or I'm going to make the overlap a little bigger so that it gives me the full coverage, because this tends to gape just a little bit. And as I showed you in my previous video, when I wore this, I said that I could either use sort of a little brooch to keep it together in the front, or I could just sew a little decorative button on or something just to keep that from not gaping and then, you know, the girls falling out. Yeah, so that was my second make. My third make is also sage green. I have a thing for sage green and it's definitely on my color chart. So yeah, I know I can get away with this. This one is a Forget-Me-Not Patterns Vera top, and it's in this really funny cotton jersey that I got from Stoff Lykke, and it has zebras all over them, and I thought this was just so fun. The only alterations I did to this was to sort of make the sleeve bands a little longer. I have pretty chunky arms, so the original pattern piece for this is just too tight on my arm. But seeing as this sleeve gathers into that cuff, I could just make it less gathered and have a longer sleeve band. So I love this top because it's quite like fitted around the bust, so it gives a little bit of shape, but it's not clinging to my belly. So yeah, I really love this pattern. And the V is quite easy to fit in there too. So she said, and now checking the fit. Yeah, I got that spot on. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe cutting the sleeves off into t-shirt length and just using this as a t-shirt pattern, because I think that would be good too. So yeah, I think I could have maybe lengthen it by this much to get the absolute perfect length. Okay, are you still with me? This is going to be a longer video than usual, but yeah, bear with me, okay? The next thing that I made was a cardigan. Now, I have been looking for a pattern to recreate an old ready-to-wear cardigan that I've also had for years. And the lovely Sarah Naomi, who has a sewing blog, she lives in Paris, she talked about the Muse Patterns Jenna cardigan, and I thought, that's it. That's the pattern. And that pattern comes in 2 different lengths, and there are some sleeve options, I believe, and everything. And I made this like a wearable toile. I'm not supposed to wear black because I'm like a summer in colouring, so black is a bit too harsh for me. But I did have a little bit of a remnant of a very sturdy, heavyweight cotton jersey, which is the mistake that I made. So I don't know if this actually is going to be wearable, but yeah. But what I really like about this cardigan is its shape. The version that I made the cropped version because I wanted to replicate the one that I had, and that is cropped. And I don't tend to wear many cropped things, but I do wear them with dresses. So I made this Jenna cardigan, and as you can see, there's a lovely little ruched detail right there that gives the shape to the bodice front. And I really, really like that. It was a very simple sew, and it has its own like button placket and everything, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I made the sort of 3/4 length sleeve. This is probably not going to be that wearable, and that's because it's the wrong fabric, basically. It's too heavyweight for what I want to use it for. It's sewed up fine and everything, but yeah. Which is why I haven't bothered to put the buttons in at the moment. But it has this really like deep hemband in the back so that it sits very nicely in the back and everything. So I will make a proper version of this now that I know what the fit is like roughly. I might size down one size or take a little bit of a deeper seam allowance just to make it flush a little bit more with the bust, because it's a little bit too big in the bust for me. But yeah, I'm really happy that I made a toile before I cut into any precious fabric. Yeah, this was just a remnant anyway. And now, on a more positive note, so I have had the chalk and notch fringe pattern for a very long time. And I haven't made it up because, I don't know, sometimes I'm lazy. And since my AO printer died, there was a lot of pages to put together. So yeah, I was a little bit too lazy. But then I wanted to join the So Fruity challenge in June, and I had the perfect fabric for it, which I got at Rainbow Fabrics in one of their fabric drops. And this is a navy cotton with, like, as you can see, lemons all over it. So perfect for So Fruity. And I made the chalk and notch fringe and love it. Absolutely love it. I made it like straight out of the packet. I made no alterations of this. And but what I found a little bit confusing in the beginning was that I didn't like understand from the pattern envelope. It's a PDF, so it's not an envelope, but yeah. And that was that you could attach the like waist ties in 3 different places. And that took me a little bit of time to understand. So you can either, omit the waist ties altogether, but I like things that kind of pulls me in the middle, since I am like pear-shaped. My waist is the smallest part of my body. So I usually want to emphasize that if I can. And the waist, so I definitely wanted waist ties. And you can either sew it into the back darts, the side seams, or the front darts. And that, I think, could have been better explained on the pattern. But, figured it out. It might be just me being dense too. So, yeah, who knows? But I really, really love this. And I only had like 3 of these shell buttons left. These are from Selfmade. So I put them in the front, and then I had 2 like little green, also like shell buttons left, and I used them for the tabs on the top there, top of the shoulder. I also put a little label in. It says, "I'd rather be reading." Love to read, especially in the summer. So yeah, and I just put that in the back. These are also from Intensely Distracted. She has some lovely labels, so go and check her out if you want to. Not sponsored, you know, or anything like that, just to make that clear. Now I only have 2 more, promise. So this is the Friday Pattern Company Davenport dress. This is made in this like geometric print, a viscose from Selfmade. And this is the only one that I have that's really summery. So yeah, really love this one. I took this to the conference in June and I wore it for the sort of conference dinner. And I got lots of compliments on this one, so that made me feel so nice. And for my final make for June, I made a pair of wide-legged linen trousers. But I actually forgot to bring it up from my bedroom, so hang on a moment and I'll bring it up. Okay, this is also pulled from the clothesline, so it's very, very wrinkly, but yeah. So this is a pair of Paradise Patterns Protea pants, and I didn't have any zippers in the right color that was the right length. So yeah, but I thought, you know, it'll work fine. You can't see it, I promise. So what I did for this one was that I lowered the rise by about this much. And that's because the Proteas are very high-waisted. And while I do like a high-waisted trouser now and then, but they are like very, very high-waisted. So yeah, I shortened the rise by about this much, and then I omitted the pockets. And I know, omitting the pockets, but the thing is that being pear-shaped, it is a bit difficult sometimes with good pockets that don't poke out. And now my daughter calls. Hang on. Typical, isn't it? All right, so yeah, as I was saying, I don't like to put in pockets on the Protea, and that's because I made one version with the pockets, and even though I followed every like sewing instruction and everything, they do tend to poke up just a little bit, and I don't like that. They're very, very wide-legged, even this version. This is the version without the pleat in the front, but still they are very wide-legged. These have a very deep cuff, and I actually think I hemmed them a little bit like short. So now that I've washed it a couple of times and everything too, I mean, I always pre-wash my fabrics, but I think that I'm going to take them down just like this much so that the leg or the hem actually falls on my shoes, because they're kind of a weird length now. They're not cropped and they're not like long, so sort of in between there. So it's a weird length at the moment, but I love the Protea pants. I have made, I think this is my 4th version, and there probably will be more. So these are made in a sand washed linen, the same as my Esther shorts, but these are like a very soft brown, and the Esthers are like a charcoal gray, but it's the same fabric, and I got it at my local fabric store. So yeah, those were the 7 makes of June and a little bit of a Friday sews. I've been going on for a really long time now. So I am going to, you know, round this off by saying thank you so much if you've recently subscribed to my channel, or, you know, thank you so much for liking and commenting on my videos. I mean, it brings me so much joy when I see a new comment on my video. And yeah, I'm a simple girl. But I really love this community of online, you know, sewers sharing their ideas and their makes and everything. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me and coming back to see my videos. I really, really appreciate it. If you have any comments on things that I've made, or you have questions about my makes and things, please leave them below, and I'll see you soon with some exciting things about my collab with Rachel. See you soon. Bye.